There are times in your life when you should keep quiet and times when you should speak out. And for the Barclays and the Greenhalghs, that time arrives in 5 minutes on BBC One. No kidding.
And before then, a summary of the latest news with Jenny Bond. It's 11 o'clock.
The authorities in Gran Canaria have released the body of Robert Maxwell after completing their post-mortem examination. He's due to be buried in Jerusalem on Sunday. Here, trading in the shares of his two companies has resumed on the stock exchange.
There was a sharp contrast in fortunes as shares in the Maxwell companies resumed trading this morning. Mirror Group newspapers were up, but shares in Maxwell Communications, where most of the debts are concentrated, fell sharply. Earlier, a spokesman claimed bankers still supported the Maxwell family.
Mr. Kevin Maxwell and Mr. Ian Maxwell are pleased to confirm that these banks have confirmed that they intend to continue their support for the private interest.
Ian and Kevin Maxwell, now in charge of the publishing empire, have already arranged the sale of its Berlitz language courses to a Japanese buyer, and they're promising further disposals to raise money.
The 16 NATO leaders have begun discussing a new role for the alliance after the collapse of communism in Europe. At their meeting in Rome, they're expected to agree big cuts in NATO forces and the creation of a European defence force.
Secretary-General Manfred Werner told the meeting NATO rejoiced that it had lost its former enemies in the Warsaw Pact, but it still had a crucial role as a bedrock of stability and an agent of change in a more complex security environment. Earlier, President Bush and John Major emphasized the need to maintain the alliance's leading role in defense arrangements. But the 16 NATO leaders are expected to agree on substantial cuts in the organization's armed forces and to switch the military emphasis to smaller, more flexible units. The alliance will also want to initiate a new political relationship with its former enemies in Eastern Europe.
The death toll from the floods in the Philippines is expected to rise still further. 3,000 people are already feared dead. A tropical storm lashed the island province of Leyte 2 days ago. Whole villages have been swept away by mud and water. 100,000 people are homeless and the dead are being buried in mass graves. There are reports of fierce artillery battles in central Croatia, but it's now quiet in Dubrovnik. Yesterday, the port was shelled from land and sea for 4 hours. Residential areas and a hospital were hit. The town has now been under siege for 37 days. The Hong Kong government says the first group of boat people will be deported on Saturday. 59 will be sent back to Vietnam under a compulsory repatriation agreement signed with Hanoi last week. The Hong Kong authorities hope to empty the camps within a few years. And that's all for now. See you at noon.
Hello, the headlines now in the southeast. Police are appealing for the mother of a newborn baby found abandoned in a telephone box to contact them. The day-old boy was found in the kiosk at Brockley in southeast London after an anonymous 999 call early this morning. He's now in Lewisham Hospital. Police are to search a rubbish tip at Mucking in Essex today for the bodies of 2 women from South London. An inmate of Brixton Prison claims he killed Joanne Rankin and Barbara Hunt and disposed of their bodies in rubbish bins. Police are to investigate 2 fires on farms in Buckinghamshire last night, which destroyed hay worth more than £40,000. The 2 incidents, which destroyed barns at the 2 farms near Aylesbury, happened within minutes of each other. The inquest into the death of South London teenager Lynne Rogers is due to open in East Sussex today. Her body was found near Crawley after she met a man at Charing Cross Station. A man's been charged with her murder. Now let's have a look at the weather forecast for the southeast, and it's going to be mild and windy today with some light rain at times. Top temperatures up to 14 degrees Celsius, 57 degrees Fahrenheit, but feeling cooler in the wind, and gales around coastal areas. And that's your local forecast. Now with the wider prospects, Peter Cockcroft.
Hello again, it's time to take our daily look around Europe, but before we do, let's update ourselves on the position in the Philippines with the effects of Tropical Storm Thelma there causing the devastation. It was really the heavy rains that there were problems. She never got up to typhoon strength with the winds. She's now out over the South China Sea heading towards the Vietnamese coast, so some heavy rain on the way there, but as she makes landfall, she's likely to weaken over the land. Now, there's been some quite heavy rain in Europe in the last 24 hours over the Peloponnese. In Greece, Adravida recorded 7 inches of rain from some very heavy thunderstorms indeed. They show up rather well on this morning's satellite sequence. You can see that dark, threatening cloud. That's where those thunderstorms are. And if I run the sequence here, you can see them hanging around across Greece. Some quite heavy showers showing up around southern Italy and indeed across Malta, and that rain pushing, cloud and rain pushing in across northwestern parts of Europe. So let's extend the forecast then and have a look at Europe for the next few days. Those thunderstorms are likely to keep going. It's a little area of low pressure, some very strong winds indeed revolving around it. Then northwestern Europe, cloud and rain spilling in from the north and west, windy too, with showers coming along behind, and increasingly those showers will be turning wintry. In between though, there is a lot of brightness around, a lot of sunshine. Now it's quite interesting the weather situation at the moment, certainly with the temperatures as things are happening. Colder air is pushing down from the north at the same time as warmer air pushes up from the south. And that's the forecast.
Breakfast. Taking the morning air. A spot of hoovering. Lunch at home or in town. Gardening. Shopping. Take the car. Supper. And good night.